In perhaps one of Orson Welles' greatest films, our main character and the hero, played by Orson himself, can't win over the audience no matter how much the audience tries to let him. This movie begins with an unanswered question and continues to weave its way through Kane's life maze, until finally revealing the answer towards the end. In the scene that I will analyze, I will explain how, with the use of lighting, camera moves, and music, Welles creates a sensationally dramatic ending to this film. The lighting of this scene is low, very low and powerful. Notice how the characters in this scene are unidentifiable. We're not supposed to be concerned about who the characters are and what they represent at this point in the film. What is lighted well is where the intrigue starts, the jigsaw puzzle, which may be a metaphor for Kane's life, or maybe a hint that hope of finding out what Rosebud meant is never going to happen, just like putting that puzzle together won't happen. Nonetheless, the focus is only on the box of puzzle pieces. As the camera pulls away, we begin to see more of the warehouse and all the items kept there. There are many, almost too many to focus on, which causes anxiety. Still, the camera moves back, and all the while the characters remain in the dark.
I don't think any word can explain a man's life. No, I guess Rosebud is just a piece in a jigsaw puzzle. Missing piece. Well, come on, everybody. We missed the train.
As the characters leave the scene, we get a shot of the metaphoric puzzle pieces, and when the camera continues to narrow its focus, it starts to move through them. We are brought to focus on only one piece. Notice how everything is brightly lit. Not many shadows. Quickly it is taken and thrown into the fire. The fire is so intense that you almost have to look away, which might be by design, by Welles's design, but you can't look away because at this point you might get the answer to the question you've been asking the entire movie. Now, as we go back and focus on the same scene, camera movements in the scene are used to create a dramatic effect of immenseness. When we see the volume of Kane's belongings through the use
What did you find out about him, Jerry? Not much, really.
of the crane shot,
Jigsaw puzzle?
If you could have found out what that rosebud meant, I bet that would have
this is the
explained
beginning of the crane
No, I
shot,
don't think so.
we start to understand the magnitude and depth
Kane was a man who got everything
of
he
Kane's
wanted.
obsession with hoarding. In this way, this shot establishes space, and we are distracting ourselves from the characters, distancing ourselves from the characters.
Explain a man's life.
At this point, because the camera movement, we start to feel that there is an imminent conclusion coming as well.
Missing piece. Well, come on, everybody. We missed the train.
In this next scene, the camera is slowly making its way across the junk in what's called a dolly shot. There is so much to look at initially, and again an anxiousness feeling sets in. And finally, we are allowed to focus on this lead as the camera movement drastically slows. Cut to a medium shot, a zoom, and then a close-up of the sled. And in 8 seconds, and in 3 camera shots, we have the most dramatic period of the entire film. The third thing that adds dramaticness to this film is the way in which the music comes in.
Anyway, it wouldn't have explained anything. I don't think any word can explain a man's life. Sing peace. Well, come on, everybody. We'll miss the train.
The music starts, and it sets a somber tone with slow and low tones. As again we look at the clutter in the next scene, as the music starts to pick up a bit, and picking up our hopes with it. There is a bit of uncertainty, and it's reflected in the music because it sounds similar to detective or mystery music. As we move across the vastness, the music slows, softens a bit to let us know that we're getting close to something significant. A quick rise in volume as the sled is taken, and then all out of focus is here something significant. Right before the crescendo, the score, we get the dun 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 of the drums as the reveal of Kane's dying words are made. The music continues with sharp high notes portraying finality and sadness, that no one will ever be able to answer the question because the answer is being eliminated as we watch. And in conclusion, Orson Welles used many different techniques to make Citizen Kane. Yes, he was aided by Tolan and his inventive use of cinematography, no doubt. However, it was this aspect of the film, in addition to the masterful lighting work and the use of sound, that helped to create drama, suspense, and intrigue throughout this entire film.